My brothers and my sisters, today I want to talk to you about who runs the world and why. You may think it's the government that runs the world. Is that the US president, the White House, the lobbyists behind them? Are the businessmen, the billionaires run the world? In my opinion, they are all players. None of them truly make the rules. I believe those who make the rules come either from the underworld or from the higher realm. And those elite human beings at the very top are the ones who are in contact with these beings of different realms and bring the order down to our earthly realm. Think about it. In the NBA, no matter how good a player may be, none of them make the rules of the NBA. They're simply players. Those who make the rules are unseen. They are behind the curtains. So as the politics and the rules that govern the world today. Many of those elites who bring order from the other realms are connected to the underworld. The reason for it is simple. Because the creatures of the underworld are knowledgeable and have powers. And they can promise wealth, health, power, and fame to whomever is willing to sell their soul. They get everything they want in the earthly realm. And the reason the underworld creatures want your soul is because your soul has the power to harness life force energy in the spiritual realm. And there is not much of it in the underworld. And the creatures there do not have access to that life force energy. By capturing your soul, they can harness that energy for themselves and thrive in the world of darkness. Thus, they make the contract with the human beings. They offer earthly glamours in the exchange of your soul. And the suffering that they bring about to this world makes you forget about your soul. When you struggle in your day-to-day life, when you cannot make your rent, you forget about the higher realms and the spiritual realms. You get caught up in this world and not realizing that you have a soul that can bring about infinite potential into your life. Forgetting is what they aim to do, make you forget who you are. That's the game of the underworld. However, not all people are bad. Not all elites are bad. Some of them are connected to the higher realm. And here's the difference. In the higher realm, there's abundance of life force energy. And they have no need for your soul and harvesting its energy. What they want you to do is to remember who you are and your potential. If one day you connect to the higher realm, you will witness that for yourself. They want you to become the best version of yourself, and they will help you get there. It's not an easy path, but it's the possible one. In this lifetime, you can witness other realms, even travel to the other realms, and come back to the earth. You may not believe in the spiritual realm, but think about it. Throughout human history, every civilization talked about creatures of the other realm. From Shinto in the Far East in Japanese culture, which means the way of gods, talk about spirits. All the way in the Far West, the Hopi in Arizona, the indigenous culture, also talk about spirits and gods. There is something there. And if you look, anything more than few thousand years old, there were civilization advanced in technology. We can see them in pyramids of Egypt. They're all around us. There are countless many examples of advanced structures that were not possible to build with primitive tools of the old days. They had help from other realms. And do you think everyone was delusional? If you go back 2,000 years and beyond, every story, every book talks about creatures of the other realm. However, there is a reason that they are not around as much today. Actually, in the old text, they all talk about it. There are 4 stages that human beings are going through. And as stages progress, the spiritual realm becomes more covert, more invisible to the human beings. This is a prophecy that has been noted in every ancient civilization. Hopis talked about the 4 worlds, and they talk about how spirituality will diminish as time moves forward. Avesta, one of the oldest texts in Persian culture, which dates back over 4,000 years old, talks about that as well. In Hindu and Buddhist culture, the 4 stages of yogis mention that we are in Kali Yogi stage, which spiritual activities have become extremely covert and less noticeable. They do exist today. They're just not as visible as it used to be in the old days. That is the reason in the old cultures, everyone knew about them, knew about magic and the creatures of the other realm. But today is not something we witness on our day-to-day interactions with the world. However, there are ways to open portals to the underworld and the higher realm. And I'm here to show you how to open these portals. In today's world, we need to wake up. We need to become awakened. The world is becoming increasingly dark, and the world needs your help. By you recognizing your soul and your infinite potential that is dormant within you, you can help to bring light into this world. I will show you in the videos that coming in my channel on how to open these portals. The dark portals that connect you to the underworld is not what I'm interested in, but it is good for you to know how they open and why people strive to open them. That's the only reason I will share them with you. However, my focus is to opening the light portals to the higher realm. That's where your true power resides. And there is something very ironic. Those who seem to have the highest powers in the world today, those elites that are connected to the underworld, in actual reality are the weakest. They have given their soul to the devil, and they are being drained out of their life force energy. However, in the surface, on the earth, they look healthy, they look powerful, famous, and with infinite amount of wealth. But in the actual reality, in the spiritual realm, they are poor and broken. That's not what I wish for you. I wish for you to reach the higher realm. When you get there, when you realize your superpowers, you will never want to go down and make the deal with the devil. What the higher realms offer is infinitely better. You would have no need for money, fame, power, and glory to find peace and bliss in your life. You will be filled with them. The emptiness inside you, that aching will go away. And you find yourself in a state of true happiness, something so rare in the world we live today. In upcoming videos, I will discuss this further. Each of my videos is designed to show you aspects of how to open these portals, mainly the light portals to the higher realm. It's a hard task. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to have high integrity. You have to have dedication for your goals and dreams in life. You have to give up your vanity and selfishness. But when you do, the reward is great. It's far greater than what you can even imagine. And I hope you get there one day. I really hope to see you on the other side in the higher realms. Your awakening is what the world needs. And as more people become awakened, become more conscious, the suffering will naturally dwindle in this world and eventually will cease to exist. Maybe it's possible in earthly realm, maybe not. I don't know. But I know as more people become awakened, the suffering will decrease. That's the promise of the higher realm. At least your own suffering will decrease. And by that, you can help others to suffer less. And soon, the world will become more awakened. Some years, maybe some decades. But the time is coming. And my purpose is to help you get there. And even those who have sold their soul to the devil, they're not truly lost. You can always get your soul back. All of you, every one of human beings on this planet are my brothers and my sisters. I don't care what path you take. You are in my heart, and I have infinite love for you. And I believe in you. And I believe that one day you will make the right decision. And if it's not in this lifetime, perhaps in the next. But I have hope for all of you. No one is truly lost, in my view. The grace of the higher realm is so vast, so infinite, that nothing can exist outside of it. The only reason you may find yourself in the darkness is because you choose that, not because that's what they want. So, anytime, any day that you turn toward the light, you will be welcomed to join. Until next time, my brothers and my sisters, love and peace be upon you always.